Good morning. Welcome to the Eagle football press conference. This week we had a two-day game versus Staley. Lost 21-0. Kids played hard. Staley is probably the front runner for the state championship this year, and I think our kids found out that if we were to clean up some mistakes, that we're right there with them and could possibly have won that football game. I'd like to open it for questions.
What is the team doing to prepare for Grandview this week?
Well, Grandview's got a great running game. They also have some outstanding skill position players, a really big and talented offensive line. Defensively, they're very active, good tacklers. We've got to do what we do, and we just have to apply it to our opponents. We just have to continue to get better and eliminate mistakes. Big picture is, you don't, in 1 week's time, you don't invent a whole new plan and hope that it's as good as the plan you've been working on for 3 months. So we're going to stay the course with our plan and try to get better at it and apply it to the things that Grandview gives us.
What is your team doing differently this year? Like, are you coaching a different way or using different techniques?
This is our 6th year, and we've been doing it pretty much the same way for all 6 years. We're trying to create a more competitive environment in practice than we've had in the last few weeks. This is one of those years where our demo squad, our scout team, is probably not giving us the look that we need, and so we're trying to find other ways to make practice more competitive.
What were some of the problems in the game last week that you guys are working to fix in practice?
Well, missing opportunities are the big things. We went out and stopped them 3 and out on their first drive, and then we put together a good 15-play drive, and then got down to a 4th and 1, and there was some confusion in our kids as to what the play call was and where they were supposed to line up, and that kind of threw us out of sync. And we didn't convert the 4th and 1. It was very important that we finished that drive. I don't think any team had put together a 15-play drive against Staley up until that point, and so we needed to be able to finish that. Obviously the bad break of the fumble when we were backed up for the scoop and score, it was probably the biggest play of the game. And then on the next Friday, we came out and we talked to the kids. We needed to get a stop because Staley was in our territory with a first down, and we needed to mount a drive, and we did both. We got the stop. We kept Staley from scoring on their drive, and then we drove 80 yards in 15 more plays, and then got sacked for a 12-yard loss on maybe a bad call by the coach, and definitely a mistake by a player or two on our football team that left the quarterback unprotected. And, in that situation, hopefully we've learned that we need to go ahead and just try to throw that ball any way we can, and we can't take the sack because we were on their 8-yard line going in to make it a 14-7 game, and that was a huge opportunity missed for us.
I definitely heard the name Armand Baker a lot more at this game. Can you tell us a little about that?
Armand's an excellent receiver. He's an excellent athlete. I don't think that he has come close to tapping his potential. He's one of those guys who's just kind of content to stay in the background and not make himself seen or known or heard. We've known all along that he can run and catch a ball, and we're going to continue to throw the ball to the open guy. If he's an open guy, we'll throw it to him.
When it comes to training, are things that are being worked on more on a communication side, trying to get players to work together to finish those drives, or is it more a physique side where people are just getting tired and not being able to finish?
Well, I think the big thing, that's the best question I've ever had here in these press conferences. Good work. I think that I think the big thing is the mental side. I still, we're 4 weeks in, and I would still say that overall we've not demonstrated mental sharpness, and I think that runs deeper than just what's happening on the football field. I think it's a life thing, and I think that we have a group of kids right now who aren't paying great attention to detail in many areas right now, and it's showing on the football field. That's probably our number one thing that we have to overcome is getting these kids more mentally sharp, more intense, more attention to detail. It's a tough job. We're hoping that we're hoping we'll find some leaders who'll step up and take that role and help those guys understand that we could be a great football team if we just pay a little more attention to details.
Did having to play the game on 2 separate days affect how your players played?
Well, I mean, it's going to affect both teams, so there was no advantage or disadvantage to it. We were happy to come back the next day, and we felt like whatever happened the next day, it was very important that we play well, because because it had a whole lot to do with how our team views itself. I think that the general feeling after the game was, I think that our kids were a little bit surprised that we were as physically competitive with Staley as we were, and I'm hopeful that it opened their eyes that if we can get more disciplined, pay more attention to the little things, then we can be the kind of team that could beat a Staley. Thanks for coming this morning. Great questions, especially by this guy. See you next week.